We could talk about that too. Signatures of artists like Stelfreeze. He's probably my top 5 artists of all time. His signature is a work of art. Like he has a certain style to how he writes it,
and good placement. Like he doesn't do anything that really is going to interfere with the art.
Right. Meanwhile, Stan Lee, you give him both. Good luck.
And listen, I like everybody. I love Stan.
I do too.
And I got very lucky.
Yeah.
I saw some people who suffered because it just so happened the last signing I got with him, NYCC 2016, the handler who was with him happened to see my face as Stan was going with his hand where he wanted to go, and literally the guy he pulled him by the forearm to the side of the book, and I was just like, ooh.
I mean, I lucked out. He signed up here,
And the 101,
and you can see it. And then Ramita signed down here.
Right.
And I've seen situations where he signs in black on really black part of the cover, and you can't see anything.
And at that point, it was a money grab, man. He could barely see. That's why it's one of those things I'm not upset about it.
Sure.
He was in his 90s at that point, bad vision.
Yeah.
He's got to pay a Beverly Hills mortgage or whatever. So they just had him signing like crazy. I just know if you're talking about what's aesthetically pleasing, you were rolling the dice those last couple of years if you had Stan trying to sign a book for
a lot of people have an expectation that, a signature is going to be a certain way at a certain... And, there was someone on Facebook recently complaining about Howard Chaykin doing a remark on a 7.5 Star Wars #1 and feeling bitter about it. And I felt for the guy, but I also said, look, we all take a chance submitting our books. There's no guarantees. Even when we stipulate what we want, we may not get it.
Yeah.
So you're always,
you know the story about Howard Chaykin and Star Wars 1, right?
From what I understand, he can't stand that artwork at all. And so he
hates that book.
He'll sign it. If you give it him, he'll sign it. But this guy asked
and possibly deface it.
He asked for a remark of Darth Vader on that cover. And it looks not the best. And, you take a chance asking for an artist to do, on a black cover, mind you, a remark of Darth Vader in black marker. It just... I wouldn't have done it. I would just had him sign it, be done with it. But remarks and stuff like that, you got to be, you're taking a chance. You got to know you're taking a chance. And if you're curious about how an artist signs, do your research.
Yeah.
Really.
100%.
So this next book is definitely going to highlight that.
And even then, there's no guarantees because, Stan Lee had a certain signature. But after a while, as he got older,
it degraded.
It was all over the place. There were times I've seen artwork by J. Scott Campbell, beautiful artwork, cover artwork that has the Stan Lee signature, and it looks like out of place. Sometimes it's on the artwork itself.
Right.
It's like
guilty. I got a couple of books like that from when J. Scott was doing the Midtown exclusives.
Yeah.
There was a couple of years, and I didn't get crushed in terms of the signature placement with Stan, but I think oh my god, Amadeus Cho on this Champions book, I think Stan just went over his face.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see it in person, but I've seen situations where he signs over other people's signatures too.
Really?
Like,
Yep. Yeah. It was
I felt bad, but it is what it is. It's like, gotta be careful.
late 80s into his 90s, signing,
That's right.
bad vision. We
Yeah.
got what we got. I mean, that's why I don't complain about it. I kind of knew what I was up against, and most of the time it worked out. But for some people, yeah, I mean, I would never have taken like a Silver Age or a Bronze Age book that was high grade and had him sign it towards the end. You know, it's one thing if it were, you know, lower grade, mid grade book, and you're trying to make it a little special, and you know, sentimentally, you wanted Stan Lee. But the people who complain where it's like, oh, I had a 9/4 Daredevil one, like I'm like, really? When you know that like they were putting it in front of him and like two people had to show him what to do, like you didn't think that you were rolling the dice on that?
Like Weekend at Bernie's, right?
I was getting ready to say that. You took it from me quick.
I mean,
And
listen,
move his arm.
not to jump on the Hell Express, but you had to, like, if you were there watching what was going on, come on, man. Like you saw that this man could barely make sense of what was in front of him. His vision was that bad at the end. So I feel for people, but I'm also
they should have just. Yeah, I think they should have just. Like you guys said, it's money grab, but I know he had a whole bunch of personal stuff going on with his daughter and what have you, and you know, it was a sad time because I was when I got back into comics, I was like, I got the J. Scott Campbell Stan Lee exclusive where Stan is in the middle, and then all the
I love that cover. Yeah.
right. I was gonna get it signed, and then you know he canceled because he got sick, and that was that. And you know, it was sad because I didn't get to meet him, but at the same time, more information was coming out of his health and how, you know, it was just almost being used.
Absolutely.
To that extent where it wasn't right for him anymore. And I wouldn't, and maybe I feel a little bit better for not putting him in that position or adding to that, you know, because he left all of us a legacy, you know.
Absolutely.
And, you know, R.I.P. I know we joking and all, but for the most part, like, yeah, you meeting, if you meet him, you meet him. If you get something signed because you want to, not because of the monetary value it'll bring, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was my thinking too. It's like at the end of the day, I got to see Stan Lee, the guy who was on my television screen and narrating Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and I remember the voice in my head at like 4 years old and stuff. That's why it was worth standing in line and getting the stuff signed. If there was something that I thought had a lot of monetary value, there you go, P.O.C.A.
One of my favorite, when he was pimped out in that vehicle driving in the last Avengers movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last appearance of Stan in live action.
Love
But,
that.
yeah, you did it because you were a fan. If you were expecting him to add $500 onto your book with expert signature placement, it was a bit delusional.
Right.
Just saying, especially the last couple of years. He passed late 2018, like December 2018, I think. I saw him in October 2016, and then I was supposed to go to a Big Apple Comic-Con that he canceled. Again, his health towards the end.
Yeah.
You know, so those last couple of years, just be happy you met him if you are a fan of the
Yeah.
movie.